Alright, you can ask most people, most mechanics, what they want to do, what's the upgrade they really want to do to their shop. To some it might be getting a lift installed, or a hoist, or some other piece of equipment, maybe an engine stand, maybe putting on a small addition. The thing I want the most, it's going to sound crazy, but I promised you at the GSE shop we would do everything shop related and then some. This is the start of stuff that's not mechanical, but I want a new garage door. As you can see, this garage door has been patched together more times than I care to admit. It's cracked in a lot of places. If I roll it up and show you the inside, most of the installation is gone. Somebody put these windows in as an afterthought, and it's so well insulated I can, wait, that hand's got my watch on it. I can only stick my entire hand up inside. That is what I want the most. Now, in keeping with the tradition of the GSE shop of always making stuff a little bit better than it was when we first got it, we were going to go a foot taller and a foot wider. The reasoning is that the trusses for this roof, we don't want to get into those too much, so I can't go too much higher without reframing the trusses. And about a foot wider is all I'm ever going to need. Right now I'm at the 7x9, 7 foot tall, 9 foot wide. Most anything you drive down the highway will fit in. However, Clampy is just almost too tall. I mean, I had the one winter day we had snow on. I drove Clampy inside and the snow scraped off the roof. And my trailer behind him, whenever you back it in, it has about this much clearance on either side. So we're gonna go a foot wider, so it'll be 6 inches each way, and a foot taller. Now let's get started. First thing we do is remove some siding. Now, how to remove siding without destroying it. What you need to do is go get yourself one of these $5 tools. I got this one at Lowe's. You could probably pick one up at Home Depot as well. And this is what's called a siding removal tool. And what you do is you get it up and under here. Sorry, I'm not really left-handed. Maybe it's better to start the other end. There we go. There. What you're trying to do is get it unhooked, and then you just peel it up. And that reveals these nails. Nails on the bottom piece. Now what you can do is you go reach into your back pocket, because we don't wear tool belts because we don't like them. And you can get yourself a pair of these snip pliers is what I like. And all I do is I stick like this, like that, pull it out, go the whole way along. And then you unsnap this piece from the bottom and keep on going. That's how we do that. So, sometimes you can start on an idea and like watch videos and stuff on how everybody else does something and try to follow suit and doing it the same way. I started to tear all the siding off. Got down to about here, realized I'm going to take off pretty much, to do it this way, I'll take off everything the whole way across the front of the garage because some of these pieces are quite long. And then I had an idea. What if I could cut the OSB and the siding what was in place? And that brought me to this idea. So I went to my local name brand box store and I bought this 100 tooth saw blade. I actually got 2 of them in case I hit a nail. And I need a new saw blade anyway for my circular saw. and we're gonna try her out and see if this thing cuts siding fairly well. I'm not pulling another piece off. I'll just cut it all in place. We'll chocolate line and bam, be done. All right, let's see how it works out, and I'll let you see. I would say that worked pretty well. I tried to cut just the edge and it chunked pretty good, but whenever I cut it in the middle and away from the edge, voila, just one little chip out. But hey, it's a time saver. We're gonna give her a shot. Well, as you can see, it cuts pretty well, and I'm gonna show you how well right now. I set my saw to the depth of the siding, so I didn't really cut into the plywood too much, but I mean, it works.
Down with that grease.
Anyway, you get the idea. You get the idea. My daughter's talking over me, but actually, whenever I did this, I was doing it backwards, cutting down. I think that might actually work better than going forwards, because as you can see, I chipped it a little bit. So try going backwards, cutting down. I think you'll have much success. Okay. So, I gotta apologize. I got a little ahead of myself. Fast forward a little bit. The garage door's on the floor, along with the opener. And all that's left, I didn't take down this overhead framework yet. But it used to hold the opener and all that stuff. But here's the meat of my problem. This is a 7x9 door. I am going to an 8x10. Just like I said, just a little bigger, a little beefier, a little wider. But there's some stuff in the way. It's going to have to get relocated. I'm going to have to slide these cabinets over just a hair, because I want to keep it even on both sides. So the big question is going to be, what is behind all these header panels? This is a non-load bearing wall, so I don't have to worry about that. But we got to get in here and figure out what's what before we even go back into tearing off siding. If I didn't include that video already, the saw blade does work. I'll go over that in a little bit, but for right now, it's time to attack. All right, that answers that question after a brief workout. So I got my cripple stud. That's this inside one. And then outside one's my main stud. It runs all the way up. So what I'm gonna have to try to do is maybe tuck it right in behind here. I'll rip all this out, tuck one right up in behind there, but that shouldn't be too hard. And then if I have the ability, I might move that one up just a hair. We're gonna have to see how that goes. You know what I'm saying? Alright, and this side is gonna be easy because right there is already a stud, a main stud, going straight up. So I might be able to use that just as my face board. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how this goes. But in here, on this side, I don't feel one. At least not for a while. Alright, I'll let you know what's going on when I have more to tell you. Alright, I know it's been a little while since I recorded, but what I've done since then is I've cut the plywood back 10.5 inches, because I'm going 6 inches each direction, and I need room for my 2 joists, I forget what you call them, and then 1 cripple, which I haven't put in yet. I took the old cripples out, which they are nailed everywhere. Those were hard to get out. But good news is shining ahead. I gotta take that header out now. How I'm gonna do that is actually mostly on the outside, because this has been nailed so well to the outside. I've decided to go ahead and cut the plywood all around it on the outside, and then I will probably run my Sawzall down along those seams to cut all the nails, and then hopefully they just fall right out. And once they fall right out, I'll finish my cut across the top over. It should come over to in line with this this joist. This one actually was a full joist, but I'm gonna make it a cripple, and then I got my 2 in back. This should actually be a little stronger. I mean, I know it kind of looks strong with this heavy duty header, but it was only held up by one 2x6 aside. So, and well, actually, and then there was only 1 full joist going the whole way to the top, where on this side I'm going to have 2 now on each side. So nothing to it but to do it. Let's get it going. Alright, so I have cut the plywood all the way across and down on that side, and all the way up and the whole way across. But then I came in here and I ran my Sawzall through, excuse me, oh, God bless me, through those gaps in here, so I could just you know, cut the nails off. But it seems there's another piece of lumber there. I don't know what that's gonna do. We're gonna try and knock this out now. We'll see what we gotta do about that piece of lumber here in a minute. Always something. Alright. exciting as that was, I have to say that we're probably going to take this down piece by piece by piece. The fine-tooth saw blade in the saw works really well cutting siding as long as you're traveling backwards. I'll show you that here. This ladder's a little unstable. Switch sides. Battery would help as well. Let's try take 3. That worked a lot better off camera, but it does work. I think part of the problem is I'm trying to cut both the plywood and the siding at the same time right now. Let's keep trying this. Let's see how far we get. I think that's a dead battery. Stupid. But you get the idea. You may not be able to see them. Let's see if I can get them to move. Well, anyway, I saw a mouse run back here. But I gotta say, I'm fairly pleased with the progress. As you can tell by how dark it is very much nighttime. And that fancy tool I bought for doing the siding, I mentioned earlier, I have no idea where it is. Might have to buy another one, because I have no idea where it got to. Oh well. But anyway, 2x6 header. Reinforced double E, triple E. There's 3 2x6s stacked there. And 1 going across the top. So that makes one heck of a top beam. Oops, sorry, gotta focus there. Focus. And then these, if you were watching my earlier videos, were the old header boards. I just repurposed them some, because I looked at them, I says, you know what, those are too stout to not use for something. And I'm hoping, they said whenever they do the door, like most garage doors are only going to have about a 1/2 inch overlap. They says they're going for like a full 1.5 inches, so they needed more space either way. Make sure I used at least 2x6s. Well, I went a couple further. Those are like 2x9s. Not real sure. I think they might have been cut down. But no, everything came together well. The jackhammering's my neighbor, by the way. I don't know what they're doing trying to break a rock, but there's my cripple. I got 2x6s going up to the top beam, and then my cripple, and then the 2x6 beam here. I gotta finish out the front. But other than that, I mean, I gotta knock out like those little pieces there at the bottom. I'm not gonna worry about that concrete block anytime soon. The door will open and close without them, and mostly I needed room at the hips anyway, but I gotta knock that piece there off and do the siding, and we're DUNN done with this project, at least as far as I'm gonna do it. I contracted out installing the door. I just, no offense to anybody out here who thinks I should have done it myself, but if it's gonna cost me $1,800 some odd to buy everything to put it up myself, or $2 grand for somebody else to come in and just do it, yeah, that's a no-brainer. Oh, I gotta knock those out yet too. That. Move that receptacle over, yo. You know? Alright, but we're gonna call it quits for tonight. This was a good day. Oh, and I did get a late start. I ran my first 10K this morning. 59 minutes. I'm a man of a lot of talents and a lot of interests. I'm kind of tickled. Alright, have a good one. I'll see you when I get back to it. Well, happy days. I knocked out that side. Ba-boom. Like I said, I'll get rid of that little stub of concrete block later. I'm not worried about that today. It won't interfere with the door opening or closing, and just might catch a tire till I knock it out. But anyways, I was working, and it dawned on me that I might share an old body man's trick, and that's if you have to cut a panel or a piece of wood or whatever, and I'm trying to cut to this inside size, but I can't cut from this side because unless I had a flush cut saw. No, I don't have a flush cut saw. So what I do is I drill holes right up along, let's see, there's another one there, but the whole way along the length, and then that transfers it to the other side where we have our holes again, and then we can play the game of connect the dots. And that's how I mark my line. I gotta take that nail out, but that's how I mark my line for my cut, and that should keep me right on track. I actually thought of it as I was finishing up this side, because I was having, as you can see by my marks, I was having a real tough time keeping a straight line. Yeah, might have to fix that, but once we got it good, and it works good. We'll see how the rest of it goes. We're probably going to re-side this garage at some point anyway, because, you know, it doesn't match. Dang it, trip. Doesn't match our house at all. So I'm not too terribly worried about getting the siding perfect, as long as I can get it good enough. But alright, time to get to cutting. That's so cool. Would you look at that? I mean, it doesn't seem like so much, and yet it really is so much. I mean, it's legitimately 6 inches and a foot, but it's huge. It is legitimately huge. I gotta look at it from the outside. I mean, it's still not, for the overall size of the garage, it's not huge, but it's huge. It's so awesome. I'm excited. This is amazing. I'm going back in. All that's really left is trim and clean up this mess. Put those cabinets back in. I think that now is the time where I get the kids involved. Oh, the joys of being a parent. Get your kids to do your dirty work. Ooh yeah. Well, it's Sunday. I haven't recorded anything today because it's been mostly just trim and putting the siding back on, and I don't feel enough of an expert to cover a lot of that, plus a lot of it turned out pretty craptacular, I think. So I'm not going to post any footage of that. I just don't want to lead anybody astray. But we'll take a look at what we ended up with. There's still a couple little things that I got to do yet before they come to install the door. I'll go over that. But the bulk of the heavy lifting is done. All the old... well, my lens must be dirty. All the old... or just humid in here. All the old... bracketry for hanging the old garage door, I took that down. It's all gone. So I got my headroom back. I have to focus. Maybe I'll try this again. Alright, so it's Sunday. The day after I started this project, and like a lot of the stuff I did today was pretty mundane stuff, like cleaning up. I actually got my family to help me with that. Thank you, family, if you're watching. But like a lot of it was just mundane stuff. Putting on trim, putting on other stuff, and I don't feel confident enough in the way that it was done to sit here and claim that I know what I was doing, so I'm not going to show any of that. Matter of fact, I pretty much know a lot of what I did was not correct. But it's good enough. But anyway, I'll show you what I got left and what I got left to do. Alright, I took out all the old bracketry for the garage door, gave me all my ceiling height back. I gotta run that over to Yo to, that's where I'm gonna have one of them side mount garage doors. But here's the finished product. It doesn't look a lot different, but it does if you know what you're looking for. You know what I mean? Like, unless you knew something happened, nothing happened. But if you know something happened, it looks really good. And that's what I was kind of going for. And a foot might not seem like much, but it'll be enough for me to be able to park the tractor in here and some other stuff. But what I got else left to do is, well, clean up. Obviously, I got tools everywhere. Even George got his tools out. His tape measure's missing. That was a knife. I took that out, but his tape measure's missing. I have to get him to find it. Might be in the weeds. But I'll shoot another video after the garage door is on. Okay. Back to it. Ready? We're filming. Say hi to the world.
Hi.
You're going to be on YouTube. You know that?
Make a rip off.
Look into those eyes.
Make a rock is a rip off because it dries out and sits to your floor.
Kinetic rock is a ripoff because it dries out and sticks to your floor. Well, apologize for the wind noise, but as you can see, I'm burning the last little bits of everything that was left over from the garage door project. So that got me thinking, maybe it's time to do a recap. It's been a few weeks since we started this project, and the garage door company came by and installed our new door. I would like to say that I liked it, but that would be kind of an understatement. Truth of the matter is, oh, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. Let's see if I can get back far enough. The door fits the garage a lot nicer than the old one. As far as size goes, you can definitely, it just fits a lot better. It looks right for the size of garage we have. And if you don't mind the mess, I'll bring you in here. And I'll show you the inside. That right there is the new garage door opener. That's the deadbolt for the garage door. Yeah, it actually deadbolt locks. It's electric, but you can also do like a manual override on it. And that works great. And we still have our light. It's wired remote, like a ceiling fan. Modern ceiling fans that have remotes. But I got all this headspace now. Like, look how high it is. When it goes up, it's almost on the light. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you that here now. Listen how quiet it is. And that's it. You can hear the door squeak behind me. The man door. But the opening, is huge. I mean, yeah, that's a Toyota Corolla. That's the wife's car. But my gosh. If I even park like a Ram Charger or my own pickup in the doorway, I mean, it's a noticeable difference. It even feels noticeable standing in it. And the seal that was installed, I skipped over redoing all this flashing and everything because, well, quite frankly, I wanted to get it done, for one, and for two, it didn't turn out real great, and I cheated some. I'm not afraid to admit it, but I'm never going to show you how, because I don't want anybody calling me up saying, oh, you did this and it worked out great and it didn't for me. But yeah, it's just, listen how quiet it is. I mean, you could barely hear it run. That was the door locking. So, recap. Did it work? Was it worth it? Would I do it again? It works phenomenally. It's the greatest thing I've ever done in my garage. To my garage anyway. I shouldn't say in my garage. There's other great things I've done. Was it worth it? To me, it was definitely worth it. All in all, me doing the framework, I got about $2,200 into it. Now I didn't buy any tools. I already had the tools. So if you're looking to get in this, start to finish, and you're starting with nothing, there'll be that too. As far as the door installation, if I bought all the materials myself, this is me doing it, it would have cost me about $1,900, just shy of $1,900. Like, I think I figured it out to like $1,878 or something like that. $1,878 by the time I bought the door and the opener and everything else. And then to put it in myself, you know, I would have saved maybe $100. But for $100, I'll hire somebody. I've been in a lot of businesses for a long time, and it took me a very long time to realize that sometimes your time is worth a lot, and that was one of them. And you can pay a professional with all the right tools and the expertise to do something in half a day that you yourself couldn't do in a weekend. I have zero experience with garage doors other than patching the other one up to put it together. It was $100. I didn't have to lift a finger. Probably seals a lot better than I would have got it to do and some other stuff, but I can't really complain. Yeah, that's just it. Would I do it again? Absolutely in a heartbeat. I would not be afraid to reframe a door opening ever. I'm not afraid to do too much of anything. Come to think of it, 90% of the problem, the people saying, "Oh, I could never do that," most of the time is because they are intimidated by it and have never tried. And trying usually leads to success. You know, taking that first step, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. You have to start, no matter what it is. But anyway, we're gonna move away from the household projects a little bit and back towards more of the fun stuff, and move more on to doing stuff like that. Woohoo! Yeah, this is I didn't get any filming of this when I did it, and I feel bad about it. But stuff like this was built entirely in here. You can do this in your garage. You can do that. Now, is there stuff on this that I paid somebody else to do? Well, for one, windshields. I can't buy the glass as cheap as they can put it in. But for the most part, bodywork, paintwork, everything, I can do it. And this is no different. Alright, that's it for this project. I love it, I love it, I love it. Bye.